Donnie woke up feeling super sick. He had a fever and he threw up all over himself, so he had to get all washed up. He threw up again and needed his shirt changed.
What are you doing?
Then it was time for his yucky medicine.
Time for your medicine.
So of course, he was asleep. He had some orange juice to wash the nasty taste out of his mouth.
You love mommy? You're beautiful.
He was feeling pretty bad and wanted to be cuddled, so I just held him. He had a rash that started because of the adhesives from his port and from where he had his bone marrow checked in his back, and it was spreading. And so he was really itchy all over his face, his back, his chest. They prescribed him some Benadryl, but it honestly didn't do a whole lot of good, and that's probably because he kept getting sick throughout the day.
Yeah, what did you hear?
One of the nurses let Donnie borrow his little toy dog that he had on his stethoscope, and Donnie thought it was really cool. He especially liked that it had a little flashlight on it. The doctor came in to go over Donnie's scans with me to help me understand where the cancer is in his body.
So it's really supposed to be white. It's supposed to be like this here where you don't really see anything. So what they're looking at is some of these darker spots, and this is looking at him front ways, like looking at him. Here's looking from his behind. So it alternates. Front,
Is it in
back.
his face?
So yeah, well we said the stuff around his eyes. And I think that's what some of this stuff is. Right.
But is it in his face? Like, I can't tell.
No, I think it might be in some of those bones in here. And then these are the ones you talk about. So it's actually not smack in the middle. It's really on the sides, up in here, on the top part of his skull. And most of the time you can't feel them because they're inside the bone. Sometimes you can.
Donnie threw up again, and this time he completely covered himself in puke, and we had a big mess to deal with, but we also had to make sure that Donnie was cleaned properly, and because he threw up all over his port dressing, that had to be changed. This part was actually really hard for me to watch, so I didn't watch closely. I just sort of was there. I knew they had to put in a new needle, but it was still hard to listen to. Towards the end of the day, Donnie was feeling a bit better. He still really didn't have any kind of appetite, so he didn't eat anything the entire day. But he got to watch his favorite movie, so he went to bed happy.